Well, this was unexpected. Happy 10k, everyone. When I started this, I didn't think things would blow up like this. I just came out of university. I'd been working at the university for about a year. I did like the idea of doing videos as like something to do, but I was struggling a lot with the writing process. It wasn't really something that came naturally to me, and I still don't think it really is, but it's much easier now. Early on, I didn't even know if I was going to continue doing it. It was a lot of work, and you know, times were tough, times were a bit rough, it was a bit gloomy, and I didn't really know what to do. But now things are good. I mean, at the start of the year, we were only on 200, so this is a supreme boost, if I can say so myself. And it's all a bit overwhelming too. I mean, at one point this year, I didn't even think I'd hit about 1,000. And it was a bit of a downer after YouTube started demonetizing everyone. It was on my birthday too. They demonetized me on my birthday. It was a real nice treat of them. And then, it took them another 4 months to remonetize me when I was over. So that was nice. Nice bit of money I lost there. Thanks, YouTube. But we're here now, so whatever. I'm very, very appreciative that anyone actually wants to watch the stuff I make. Sometimes also baffled by the amount of people that watch them. The first one I did, it was like a research project to me. I like looking at stuff. I'd got whole sprints of the sun out of the library, and I was trying to find some information on it, and I was sort of shocked by how hard it was to find that information. There was no one really talking about it on YouTube or anything, and a lot of the sources were from at least 10 years ago, and I was afraid that these things could fall through the cracks and just disappear, and I didn't think that this sort of history of animation or of art in general should be lost like that, just because people are more interested in talking about whatever came out this season. So my first video was very much me being like, I want to archive this stuff for people to keep seeing it, and to know that, the history of animation and anime in Japan doesn't really start in like 1984. It does go back far, far beyond that. So that became my topic. It was weird, obscure Japanese animation or obscure animation. I was thinking about doing a lot more animation. I had a very love-hate relationship with animation in the past, in that I'm quite mediocre as an animator, and it hurts me inside to do it, but I always end up doing it again for some reason. And I pretty much accepted my role now that I will forever be a cursed animator. When you make a video, it's kind of like a little piece of yourself that you throw away and then you never want to look at ever again. But I mean, someone does sometimes, so that's cool. When I left university, it's really tough. It's really tough to be a creative individual when you get out of university, because you're prepared to learn your craft and stuff. It's really hard to learn to promote yourself and sort of keep doing that, especially when, most artists, we're a little more introverted. We don't necessarily want to spend all day talking about whatever we're doing. And that's sort of stuff I've kind of had to learn, and I'm still not very good at it. And I saw YouTube as this perfect platform for that. I mean, I could spend all day working meticulously on some piece of art and animation and something, and it will get maybe 50 views on Instagram. But if I put it into the context of something bigger, with a narrative, with something to draw people in, suddenly it's getting 100,000. And it's the same piece of art that I would have probably made, but in a slightly different context. And that recontextualization of my art has really been the driving force of how I look at this channel, as something to promote myself as a creative, or a content creator, if you will. The only problem I had at the time was I didn't have the computer power to use things like After Effects, which I'd dabbled in the past with animations. So I was kind of stuck with whatever I could put together at the time. So the first year of STEVEM was a lot more lo-fi, and it was me kind of finding my way and messing around and being a bit shifty with the quality of those sort of animation-y bits. I think it's kind of charming, but also kind of shit, like in a dual way. But it did help me focus on more so the content. I wanted the visuals to be a representation of the content that I was making. They needed to gel. It didn't want it just to be like here's my excuse to do something this week. When I came out of school, I thought about I'd like to make music videos, and that's difficult. But in the end, I did end up making my own sort of music videos, you could say, through the retrospectives I've done, and I quite like having that freedom to sort of just make, and if the opportunity does arrive, I'm not against making an actual music video, but we shall see. Right now, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to create a brand, basically. So that's where a official statement here comes. I've kind of mentioned it a couple times before, but I have a Patreon. I've been figuring it out the last couple of weeks, but this is more of my official pitch of why I want one. And a lot of it is to do with getting better stuff, like better audio, maybe some video to speed up certain things. Translations, that's a big one for me, is translation, books, and media. Like buying stuff that will really help inform the video, because that's what I think is the most important. If there is something out there which I think definitely would improve the quality of the research and context, then I will buy it. And I have kind of been doing that now, but it leaves a bit of a hole in the pocket. Let's say that much. But translations would be great, to actually have enough back pocket to sort of find a translator and grab that information that no one else has, and then release it to the public, because I believe all knowledge should be free to the public. There should be no restrictions in that, especially when it comes to language barriers. So on this channel, I want to talk more about mainly just any Japanese media. I've been quite enjoying the music stuff, but I don't want to just limit it to that. I could go back talking about animation, different art movements. Here's a couple of the topics I want to discuss in the future. I'm going to just put a list here. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'm willing to take suggestions for rewards. I kind of am wondering what my audience would want from me. I have a couple of things up now, which I'm sort of adjusting as I go, but I want to see this more as like a service for the fans. So any suggestion would be highly good. Also, I might start taking paid suggestions if there's something that you have a burning passion for me to talk about, and I don't know if I'm going to get around to it in a timely matter, then yeah, I will do it. Just don't expect it to be good. It might be good, but it probably will be shorter than my normal videos. So here's the plan. My next big video will be Najubis. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to look it up later. I don't need to know until the full video. After that, it could be Hosoda. I know he's got a new film coming out, and I bought a couple of his special editions because I wanted to have a look at some of that sweet forbidden knowledge. I have a current goal. We've just hit 10,000, maybe 11,000 by the time this video comes out, which is fantastic. I generally didn't see that coming. I thought maybe by December that could be a thing if I was lucky, if I kept pushing. So now my current goal is 20k by December. So if I can double the channel size, and by that point I may be able to go full time and quit my job and just focus on this for the rest of my life. So here's to another year of STEVEM Productions. Thank you for all the support, and I say this from the bottom of my heart because I'm not the biggest people person. Generally just watching or commenting on the videos, or just seeing people that have been watching my videos for a while just continue to comment and say, hey, yeah, I'm still here and this is cool. I'm still enjoying this, even though it's a little bit more different. It feels good. So in a couple of days, hopefully there'll be a City Pop follow-up where I talk about a couple of recommendations I have. If you're just getting into the genre, or I don't know, if you're just kind of curious about what I think. And that's going to be it for now. Oh yeah, I have a Twitter as well, and that's usually where I'm going to be updating. I might have a community tab now, but I have yet to see it. So check out my Twitter for all the updates I'm going to be given. Cool. Love you all. Have a nice day, and goodbye.